Hi, everyone, and welcome to On Tap with Harvie S. I'm your host, Harvie S., and coming to you from Sacred Heart University. I'm thrilled to kick off this new podcast series where I'll be sharing stories, music, and conversations from my life in jazz and beyond. Today's episode is a special one. We're diving into the incredible life and legacy of my dear friend and longtime musical partner, Sheila Jordan. And joining me in the studio is another great friend and amazing musician who I've recorded with, Joe Carter. Yes, we're going to talk, reminisce, share some personal moments and memories that I think you'll really enjoy. So just sit back, relax, and we'll be starting very shortly. Hey, Joe, good to see you.
Good to see you also, Harvey. Welcome to Sacred Heart University.
Thank you. Oh, I love this place. I've had so many wonderful concerts here with you here and some other concerts too. And this is such a great place, and thanks for having me here. So, yeah.
All right, enough of the small talk. Let's get right down to what we're here for. Let's talk about Sheila Jordan. So I can remember the first time I think I came across your name was with Sheila Jordan. How did you hear about Sheila? How did it all begin for you?
Well, it's interesting. I really kind of feel that Sheila and I were kind of destined to be with each other. Like when I was in high school, you know, I was a pianist, and I should say I was more of a piano player, and I love jazz, but I was so into Coltrane and Ornette Coleman, Miles Davis, Bill Evans, and I really wasn't. I'd be truthful. I just wasn't into vocalists at all. They didn't interest me. I mean, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, I knew how great they were, and I respected them, but this wasn't my cup of tea. So then I became friends with this guy that in my school who was kind of an outcast like I was because I liked jazz, and no one in the school liked jazz. And jazz, the band director hated jazz. Jazz was just a dirty word. So he and I would hang out, and we would get vinyl, get records. There weren't even cassettes then. And we would just put records on and listen to different jazz things together. And it was a lot of fun. So he calls me up one day, and he says, "Okay, Harvey, you got to get over to my house. There's something I really want you to hear." So I said, okay. So he lived about, 10-minute walk. So I walk over there, and he puts on this record, and it starts out with this very kind of really wild out writing, really crazy stuff. And I was really digging it. It was really crazy. And then some kind of simple melody. And then this vocalist comes on. And I heard that was Sheila Jordan. And I heard her sing, and I was like totally amazed. I said, I'm really not into singers, but this one is someone that I am totally enamored with. And at the time, Sheila wasn't doing much touring at all. She was a secretary for Doyle, Dane, and Birnbach. And so a lot of people didn't get to hear her. She would go to Europe and do some stuff. So I really love this thing, and it was from a record called The Outer View, George Russell. And I'd suggest to anybody, go on Spotify or whatever you use, and look up George Russell, The Outer View, and check out You Are My Sunshine, which is a song that she sang because her and George were close, let's say that. And when Sheila grew up in a very poor town. She grew up in Pennsylvania in a coal mining town, and she was dirt poor. And actually, a funny, quick side thing about this thing is like Charles Bronson went to her school with her. She went to school, and Charles Bronson was so poor. This is true. He had to wear his sister's dress. They didn't.
Okay,
so that's
poor.
why he became tough, I guess. That's real. And, I read an interview with him, and he talked about that. So it really was true. But anyway, so she sang a song that the coal miners used to sing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." They would do that. So that was one of her early songs she sang. She really loved that song. And so George Russell put together this special thing, and I heard it. So then, now I come to New York, and then I'm coming back to Boston, where I'm from, and I'm playing a week at the Jazz Workshop, and I'm walking down the street, and there's the guy that turned me on to Sheila Jordan. He's out in the street. And apparently, I had been in touch with him a bit, and he was one of the original hippies. He went and lived at Haight-Ashbury, and he was taking acid and doing all kinds of drugs, and I think he went a little over the edge. So I saw him out in the street, and I went, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you." And like I said, I got to tell you this. He says, "I'm in New York now, and I'm playing with Sheila Jordan. It's like I'm her bass player. I'm doing her gigs and everything." And he looked at me and he goes, "Who's Sheila Jordan?" I said, "Wow." So anyway, that's how things go sometimes. But
Well, that's that's interesting because I think that's the song I first heard Sheila singing. Also, "You Are My Sunshine," and I thought at the time, and this ties into what you were saying. You were originally listening to instrumentalists, and I thought that she stood out amongst vocalists. She didn't sound like I didn't picture her as simply. Maybe that's not the right word, but I didn't picture her as a vocalist. I pictured her as the vocal version of what an instrumentalist does, I guess. So it sounds like she was a good transition for you for what you were listening to now listening to this person singing.
Yeah, I think you're completely right on that. And her biggest influence, and she talks about this all the time, was Charlie Parker. And I mean, she makes a big joke in one of her songs. She sings, "Oh, well, I love Charlie Parker so much that I married his piano player," which she did. She was married to Duke Jordan. That's where she got the name Jordan. So she's really like an instrumentalist. And like I've done gigs where we went and we have a band, and I'd say to the band, "Do not play with her like you do with a vocalist. Play with her like you're playing with a horn player," because that's her concept.
Yeah, that's probably the key, and that's probably good advice for you to give the band members, right? Don't think of her as a vocalist, but think of her as one of the guys in the band.
Exactly.
Baltimore took a look at the mercury water below. No life for a lady to be dragging her feathers around in the snow, leaving her mate. She flew straight to the tangible. Where a two-timing blackbird met the divine Miss Soul. I like to ruffle his plumage, Baltimore Oriole. Messed around with that blackbird till he cinched her wings. Forgiving is easy. It's a woman like now and then could happen thing. Send her back home, homemade home without her warbling, I know. Make a lonely man happy, Baltimore. Baltimore Oriole. She messed around with that blackbird till he cinched her wing. Forgiving is easy, it's a woman like now and then could happen thing. Send her back home, homemade home without her warbling, I know. Baltimore, come on down from your bow, fly on home to him now. Da da da